From the Hog Pen at Lundberg Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and O has got to go. And it's happening here on Sunday night in the SFL on YouTube as the Chicago Warriors pay visit to the Pittsburgh Riverhogs. Hello everybody, Ethan Muslin here with my partner, Mr. Brett Solberg. Brett, this is a game that we weren't expecting. Two teams coming in into 0-3. The best way I can describe what's going on between the Warriors and Riverhogs, struggle. They have been struggling to get points on the board, struggling to get wins. One of them's going to get it tonight. What's going to be the key for both of these squads to get over the top?
I think plain and simple, you're looking at these two teams, they're starting to regress in terms of scoring. The big key for both these teams is to get over the 20-point hump. Neither of these squads have gotten over 20 points in any of their games so far, and it feels like they're on a downward trend. Chicago got blanked against Arizona, whereas Pittsburgh only got 6 against Charleston. Scoring has got to be a key point in both these teams' matchups here. Get the advantage early, get it often.
Absolutely. Chicago scored 26 points in the last 3 games. They are 23rd in the league in points scored. Pittsburgh is just on top of them at 29, and they will be kicking the ball away to start this game as we are underway. This kick's going to be taken at about the 13. A spin move on the return. It's going to be brought up by John Fullerton. We'll bring it up to Chicago's 38-yard line, which will bring out Ty Patak, the 3-season veteran here in Chicago, previously of Seattle. They'll head to the field for the first time tonight. Both these squads, a very pass-reliant offense. I think we're going to see a lot of gunslinging tonight.
Yeah, and Dan Patak has to be accurate. He hasn't been accurate through these first 3 games, just at a 42% click rate, 24th in the league.
They're putting the receiver Arlovsky in motion to the left. Here's the handoff up the middle for J.W. Doyle. Has room to run. Breaks free and gets about a gain of 11 to the 49-yard line and a first down. And this is what we might be seeing. A little change in the game plan here is because both these teams are struggling against the run game, so we might see a lot more on the ground.
Yeah, we're talking about two teams that are bottom 2 in the league, 24th and 25th in run defense, and this was something that I was taking a note of early on to see if either of these teams would get in the run game first.
Attack on a quick pass will get to Arlovsky, who breaks free and gets about 8 on the play, brought down by Dimitri Monzuma to set up 2nd down and 2. Set up the rest of the Chicago Warriors offense. Time to attack the quarterback. Norman Guskus, one of the halfbacks, along with J.W. Doyle. Dean Jackson, the fullback. Kyle Fenimore, Ryan Arlovsky, Buchanan Simons, and John Fullerton, your wide receivers. Paulie Truth, the tight end. On the line, Matty Mack at tackle. Kobe Beef, Jess Fullerton, Galarza at guard. And at center, Sean Sullivan. And this is a keeper for Patak, who will get to the 40-yard line. Quick little gain to slide down for the first.
And I saw this a lot firsthand back in his Seattle days. I say back in the Seattle days. It was all too recent seeing him with those quarterback draws.
Another throw here from Patak on the right side. It's broken up. Incomplete. Corey Menner on the coverage. Getting all over the receiver on that play. It looks like that was Fullerton, the intended target.
Yeah, and Corey Menner is going to be basically all over the place as he's been through the first 3 games for Pittsburgh. He is a league second 32 tackles, 2 pass deflections, 2 tackles for loss, as well as a forced fumble and a pick.
2nd down from Pittsburgh's 40. Arlovsky in motion to the left side. This will be a bit of a nickel set for Pittsburgh. Patak to scramble a bit down the middle. Going to throw the deep ball. And it's caught by Arlovsky down to the 5-yard line. Great awareness to turn around and get the ball in his hands. 1st and goal, Chicago.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot more of Ryan Arlovsky through the last couple of games. He was held quiet in week 1, and now he's starting to show up, and now he's maybe starting to usurp that role as wide receiver 1 in the Chicago offense. And look at Chicago go on this first drive at a goal line scenario.
He is currently 2nd in Chicago with the most receptions at 8 prior to tonight. And about 132, he is the most productive on the ground. And it's going to be Patak taking it himself. He gets about 3 on the play. Again, we're seeing more of that Ty Patak sneak right up the middle.
Yeah, and you have to think that it's in Pittsburgh's mindset, definitely defensively, to worry about not only just J.W. Doyle and Norman Guskus, but we're talking about the feet of Ty Patak as well. It was a good stop to prevent Patak to get to the end zone.
There'll be a pitch here to Doyle, left side. Oh, and great wrap up by Monzuma behind the line of scrimmage. Will set up 3rd down and goal.
And one of the downsides of J.W. Doyle is that he's definitely not one of the faster running backs in this league, so linebackers can catch up to him, and Dimitri Monzuma is one of the best in terms of cut down speed.
Look at the left side. You see Dean Jackson in the side end position. There'll be a handoff up the middle, and that was Fullerton doing the running, but met up right in the middle. That was number 51, James Farrier, on the stop. It'll be 4th and goal.
And it's a good goal line stop from Pittsburgh. 3 straight runs from Chicago from 3 different handlers of that football, and they're only going to get 3 points, the Chicago squad.
And a little less than an extra point there for Christian Ronald Suey as the kick is up and through, and that'll make it 3-0 Chicago on this first possession. So a good defensive stop by Pittsburgh's defense to hold Chicago to a field goal. They'll get the football for the first time tonight on the ensuing kickoff. Suey to kick this away. Will be fielded into the goal line and be brought out. That's Ben Harrison on the run. On the 25, he'll get up to about the 29-yard line. Good return right up the middle and gets good field position for the Riverhawks.
And we're going to look at Eric Price on this first drive as well. Again, we're talking about pass-happy offenses. You're looking at probably the most pass-happy offense in the league. Eric Price, so far for the first 3 games, have been okay, but he's got to take care of that turnover bug. Just 1 touchdown to 6 interceptions. He's got to keep things clean in the pocket.
Yeah, he's close to the top 5 in terms of passing yards in the SFL. 2nd in completions so far this season. Price rolling out to his right, has time in the pocket, throws it out. Oh, out of the hands of Connor Weston, incomplete.
And that's something you can't have from one of your veteran receivers, your lone veteran wide receiver beside guys like Devin Lloyd and Ben Harrison who are trying to make a name for themselves this season. You need your catches early on from Connor Weston.
We'll set up twins to the left for 2nd down, I formation. Price stepping back, he'll go to throw, and a little quick pass up the middle will be completed to Devin Lloyd. He'll get about 5 on the play. We'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Introducing the rest of the Pittsburgh River Hog offense. There's Eric Price, the main quarterback. 2nd quarterback is Michael Brown. Running backs Mike Churchill and BB Blitz. Cooper Allen, the fullback. Devin Lloyd, Ben Harrison, Connor Weston, the wide receivers. Keith Wheeler at tight end. On the line, tackles Rachel Menner and Bruce White. And on guard is Taylor Menner. Price gets out, throws up the middle, tipped away and incomplete off the hands of Alex Bond. They'll bring up 4th down.
And we'll see that a lot from Chicago's defense. I wouldn't be too surprised if you see it all game as well. We're going to see a lot of double teams on Connor Weston because he is the source really to get Pittsburgh's offense going. And if you eliminate him, it's going to eliminate Pittsburgh's offense.
Prior to this game, Weston 315 yards on 20 receptions, currently 3rd in the SFL for receiving yards. This one will be received at the 32. And Fullerton's not going to get much on that punt return. He'll set him up at the 34-yard line. If you are new to the SFL, welcome aboard. The SFL is football for everybody. If you want to be part of this, make sure you can head over to simfl.net, click the Join the Community button to join our Discord, or if you want to just meet and greet the folks here in the SFL, they're just great folks all around. Even when we're talking trash, we're always just having a good time and enjoying this game and enjoying this league as a whole. Paulie Truth in motion out to the left side for 1st and 10. And they will pitch out left for Doyle. Has room on the outside. Penalty flag down. He'll step out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, but this might be coming back.
Yeah, it looked like a hold. It might be actually a block from behind. They're actually going to call on it. So it's going to negate J.W. Doyle's nice run on the outside. And it's going to be a 1st and a country mile now for Chicago.
And that one's called on Buchanan Simons. Let's see the call. Yeah, there's just a shove right in the back. That's going to get called every single time.
Yeah, that's the egregious push off when he's far away from the play. You just can't have that again. That might be a little bit of frustration from Buchanan Simons as he's not really had the productive season as he thought he would start off with in the Chicago offense with just 7 receptions for 47 yards.
They're going to go for the handoff to Doyle on 1st and 25. He'll get 5 on the play. 2nd down and 20 now coming up.
Kind of narrows things down, but it's a long road just to get to that first down marker. I wouldn't be too shocked if they go pass on second and third down potentially.
They've got the empty backfield to do it. Here comes the blitz. Patak will throw. Quick pass up the middle. Gets it to Arlovsky, who's got room to break through and gets to the 37-yard line. A gain of 13. Now third down and manageable coming up.
Yeah, a nice dump off from Patak as well. Arlovsky, decently covered, but had the space after the catch to at least get a little bit going. And like you said, Ethan, it's going to be third and manageable now. It's just 7 yards to the first down marker.
Trips bunch to the left side. One receiver right. Dime pack set up for Pittsburgh. They're going to put Kyle Finnemore in motion to the right. Set it up for 2 and 2. You see nobody moving there. Monzuma looks like he's going to rush. He will. Patak throws left side. And it's intercepted! Picked off by Cody Griffin down to the Chicago 42. A turnover for the Riverhogs.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot with the Pittsburgh defense. They like to also set their momentum with interceptions. We saw Corey Menner do it in week 1, and now Cody Griffin does it to kind of spark this defense into really trying to get their offense going. And now Pittsburgh has a second chance at things. They're in a much better field position than they were before. Now it's all about delivering.
That is interception number 1 this season for Cody Griffin, and career interception number 37 for that man right there. Handoff up the middle here for Mike Churchill. That's the first time we've seen him tonight, and he'll end up with a 3-yard gain.
And you want to talk about a running back that has struggled through this first quarter of his season. Let's talk about Mike Churchill's 1.7 yards per carry, which isn't even marked in the leaderboard at the moment. There's got to be a moment. Maybe this game might help him, get back on track.
They're going to hand off again. This one goes to Blitz, and he'll get a couple more yards on that carry. 2 straight runs right up the middle there. Now it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and we talked about how the run game isn't, a big factor for either of these teams. 3 games in, Pittsburgh has only 41 carries between their running backs, which is the exact same number as Canton running back Logan Lee, who's having a good season so far.
Price to throw on 3rd down, going right side. Open for Devin Lloyd, and he's gone! Touchdown, Pittsburgh!
Just a one-on-one battle between the speedy Devin Lloyd and one defender, and the defender decided he was going to jump on the ball. He went a little bit too early. We'll see on the replay once we get to it, but it ended up being a one-on-one battle between Lloyd and what looked to be Ricky Robinson, and Robinson decided to jump the play instead, but it didn't work out for him, and now Pittsburgh has 6 on the board.
Yeah, that was Robinson on the jump, and Lloyd was just able to hold on to it and saw open space, and he's like, bye, I'll see you later. And it goes down for a 36-yard touchdown pass as the extra point is up and through from Vinatieri. So they'll make it, after a 3-play, 41-yard drive, it's now 7-3 with 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. So great job by Pittsburgh turning that interception into points. Now we'll see how Chicago will respond. Kick will be taken about the 15. And a run for Fullerton. He'll get swarmed up. Brought down there by Sammy Davis. And we'll see Chicago take the field once again on offense. Last drive was the pick that ended up with the touchdown. We'll have to see if they can hold on to the football this time.
Yeah, and the big thing that Chicago needs to take advantage of throughout this game is going to be their starting field position, because Vinatieri isn't going to be, that name that's going to be out there in comparison to someone like, Christian Ronald Suey or say Chance to Win, who can kick it deep into the end zone and force your team to start from an earlier position.
Attack with a little pitch out to Doyle, who gets plastered for about a 4-yard gain. Let's take some quick time to introduce the Pittsburgh Riverhog defense. On the line, the notable players will be Butch Menner and Bubba Bruiser at defensive tackle. On the linebacking core, Gino McFly and Dimitri Monzuma, they're on the outside. Cody Griffin, Adam Nold, and Tom Krieg are your corners. Corey Menner and Kane Vasquez are the safeties. Play action fake for Patak. He'll throw the deep ball right side. Oh, broken up, incomplete. There was Vasquez on the coverage. Fullerton, the intended target.
Yeah, and it's, again, been a struggle the last couple of games for John Fullerton. He had that 5-reception, 120-yard game in week 1, but since then he has been held catchless after that. So it's been 2 weeks of goose eggs for John Fullerton.
And even with those goose eggs, he's still the second most productive at 120 yards compared to Arlovsky's 142. Patak with the throw, incomplete. There was Arlovsky again, the intended target, but another breakup there from Tom Krieg will make up 4th and 6.
Yeah, I talked about veteran presence on the offensive side for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has that veteran presence on the defensive side. We talked about Corey Matter. Tom Krieg is going to be another one to really take a focus on throughout this game, how he's going to help out that secondary along with Cody Griffin and Adam Knoll.
Yeah, Vasquez is a 14-season vet, got an all-star nod in season 20. And of course, everyone here in Pittsburgh in their first season with Pittsburgh being an expansion team. Oh, excuse me! As Burris on the return just plasters a man. It'll be first down Pittsburgh.
Hey, you gotta love it from your punt returner there from Plaxico Burris, getting extra yards out of it too. That's not a small man that he's trucking either. That's got to be at least a man that's in that 275 plus range that he's flattening to the ground.
That's former Jacksonville King P. Fudor, 6'4", 287-pound defensive end.
Woo!
Who just got leveled by the punt returner. So Pittsburgh from the 27 will hand it off. And it will be Churchill getting 6 on the play. Getting another 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, and I think for both of these teams, if they can get a run out of their running backs that's anything more than 3 yards, they're going to call it a good day in the office on that play. So 2nd and 4, very much manageable.
Anything over 3 or 4 yards is always going to help the average, especially for Churchill, as we talked about his 1.7 average for so far this season. He's got to improve it. Handoff up the middle for Blitz, trying to get the first, and I think he extended it just enough to get that marker, so it'll be 1st and 10.
Very, very close call. They're going to give them the first down. It'll be all dependent on if head coach Ty Patak is going to throw that red flag, which he's not. I think that's smart to keep it in his pocket.
Probably a good call there. Now from the 37, we're going to put Connor Weston in motion to the right, set up twins in that formation. Price to throw, quick step, up the middle, broken up, incomplete. Little hands on that one from Alex Bond.
Yeah, and Chicago's not only going to double Connor Weston, but they're going to have him covered in levels as well, as you saw on the play. A little bit of zone coverage played by the Chicago defense, and the linebacker gets to Price's throw, which was about 5 yards away from Weston.
2nd and 10, split back set. Price to throw against the blitz, gets it away in time, and there's a stiff arm there from Devin Lloyd, and he gets enough for the first down right at about the 50.
Man, that's shoving down Alex Bond as well after getting the catch, trying to close down on Lloyd. Lloyd has some, unsuspecting strength on him as well. Feels like Pittsburgh's game plan this season has been, putting everyone into the bench weights there.
Twins to the right, 1st down and 10. There's going to be an adjustment here. Lloyd's going to go in motion to the right. You see Chicago adjusting to a man set.
It's Derek Majors on Lloyd.
Yeah, he's setting up on there. Price facing the blitz. Oh, look out from behind. Brought down for a loss of 4. That's number 55 of Chicago. Sabo Kanan, the linebacker.
Yeah, and this is Pittsburgh's kryptonite, is protecting the quarterback. The offensive line has not done Price justice. It's now been the 12th time this season Eric Price has been sacked. That is a league worst at this moment. They need to improve that line so that Price can stay clean.
That is Kanan's first sack of the season. Price with, that's Brown in the pocket there, and he'll complete it out to Weston, who gets about 15 in the first.
Hey, and I like this, quarterback flip every now and again. This is the dynamic that you can introduce into your system by adding Michael Brown into different systems, a different kind of spice coming in, and he connects with the veteran Weston to get the first down.
That puts him right at the 40 of Chicago. And you see Price coming back onto the field for this first set of downs. Look at the twin set there on the right side for Pittsburgh. Looks like they have a tight end set up on the left. Price to throw, right side, complete to Lloyd, gets wrapped up twice, and ends up having to get taken down by Robinson. It'll go down for a gain of 9.
And the one downside with Chicago covering Connor Weston so well is that we're seeing in this first quarter, Devin Lloyd is getting a lot of open looks, and he's taking advantage of it.
He's actually been the only look so far for Price, as he's been the most successful receiver, the only successful receiver so far. As we head to the end of the first quarter, Pittsburgh up on Chicago 7-3. We'll flip the field and come right back. This is the SFL on YouTube. Back here for the second quarter here at the Hog Pen at Oneburg Stadium. Ethan Muslin, Brett Solberg here on the call tonight. Pittsburgh with second down from the Chicago 31. They're up 7-3. It'll be a handoff to Blitz, who's brought down right at the 30. They're going to give him the first down.
And again, another close call from BB, but he gets himself just forward enough to get the first down. Pittsburgh's threatening once again.
Got a gain of 2 there. That was just enough to move the sticks. Now from the 29. Twins to the left for 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to back off on the blitz. Price in trouble. He'll move out on the field and, brought down by Doug Day after a gain of 7. Didn't even get the opportunity to slide there.
You hear me say good choice from Eric Price to, break himself out of the pocket, open space, past the middle gap. He was going to get sacked if he stayed there, got the 7 yards.
Great awareness there from Price to just keep moving and just get the gain. They're going to put the fullback, Cooper Allen, in motion. They're going to offset him to the right.
They're going to bring the house here.
A little bit, but Bolitz will get brought down around the 20, so about a gain of 2 for Alex after the Alex Bond tackle. Let's quickly introduce those Chicago Warriors on the defensive side of the ball. Connor O'Shaughnessy, Darko Young, P. Fudor, and Sean Parent. They're on the line of scrimmage. Linebackers, Matthias Citrion, Sabo Kanan, and Aaron Gooden on the linebackers. K. Magic, Derek Majors, and Ricky Robinson in your corners. Alex Bond, Doug Day, and Nate Hall on the safeties. And there's another one for Bolitz. We'll get down to the 18-yard line for another first down. Now they're in the red zone.
I'm liking this little tweak from Pittsburgh, using BB Blitz as a short down, runner in this scenario. Right now, he's delivered on it. 3 for 3 on short down conversions.
It's been short, but they've been effective. Price to throw on first. Has time. We'll throw up the middle. Wide open receiver. Touchdown, Connor Weston.
Yeah, and that's Weston beating 2 guys down the middle as well. You had Doug Day on the strong safety side staying back, but also you had Derek Majors who was trying to cover back as well. And you can see the space that Dougie gives him, but it's too much space for a guy that is getting a lot of these receptions. Weston got himself wide open in the middle of the end zone. Just like that, 2 touchdowns on the board for Pittsburgh's offense.
Longest drive of the game so far in that drive. 12 plays, 73 yards at the extra point is up and through. Makes it 14-3 with 8:16 to go here in the second quarter. If you're looking for the most up-to-date information on news and happenings here in Pittsburgh, go to Oneburg, Pittsburgh's largest social media network. Tune in on Oneburg's Facebook and YouTube pages and check out the new series, The Incline Show. This kick taken right at the goal line, so some generous kicking there from Vinatieri as the return is brought up. Was number 25 of Chicago, if I'm remembering correctly. It's Derek Majors doing the run and set up some decent field position for Chicago.
Yeah, and again, we talk about how they're going to have probably better field position than Pittsburgh will on kickoffs. This is where Chicago needs to take advantage of it. But right now, Ty Patak has been a little bit ice cold in the last little bit. I believe he's only had 1 completion in the last couple drives.
This is actually the furthest back they've been so far tonight. The handoff for Doyle, wrapped up by Monzuma almost immediately after he crossed the line. They'll go down for no gain.
Yeah, and now Pittsburgh's defense is starting to feel a little bit more amped up, especially in this home turf as well. They're up 11 at this stage. The defense is feeling it.
Absolutely feeling it for sure. Patak with the empty set, scrambles, throws, going for the deep ball, overthrow his target. And incomplete. Looks like I don't know who he was going for on that one, but it'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, since the interception, Patak has now been 0 for 3 in his passes, so you don't want to make that a trend if you're Ty Patak. Find a nice little completion, get yourself a first down.
4 wide receivers versus the dime for 3rd and 10. It looks like Doyle there in the backfield. Patak to throw. Has time. Looks to get away. Throws it deep. Oh, nearly intercepted by Krieg, but it was a little on the low side. And that's going to be a 3 and out for Chicago.
Yeah, it was looking for Finnemore. Was open on that, it looked like an improvised little route run by Finnemore too, but he just overthrew his man, like you said before, and it was almost in the hands of a Pittsburgh defender again.
So they'll bring out a punt here for David Roush. We'll kick this away. Going to be fielded at the 40-yard line of Pittsburgh. Nice return for Burris. And gets about 7 on the return. He'll get close to midfield.
Yeah, and that's all that Pittsburgh is, they'll be content with whatever Burris gets them, especially if it's forward progress. And, especially in this league, 7 yards feels like a great success on punt returns.
Yeah, usually here in the SFL, the average punt return, you'll get maybe, if they're generous, they'll give you 2, maybe 3 yards. Usually the punt team will be right there to cover up. Price to throw on 1st down, up the middle, complete to Weston, to the 38-yard line of Chicago. Boy, this Pittsburgh offense and defense running on all cylinders tonight.
Both sides of Pittsburgh's, game plan is really starting to heat up. It took a little bit for Pittsburgh to get going. They had that quick 3 and out, but since then it has been, good long drive that we just saw earlier, and then a quick one after an interception. They've been starting to cook on both sides of the field.
Hand off up the middle for Mike Churchill. We'll get another 5-yard gain. Pick up 2nd down and 5. That's another tackle there for Doug Day.
And if you want to look at the biggest example of, good progress out of it, Churchill gets another 5 yards as he's upping his average yards per carry now.
2nd and 5, heavy set. They're going to hand it off to Blitz, and right up the middle is Doug Day, ready to lay the wood. Now pick up 3rd and 3 on the 2-yard gain.
Yeah, and if this is Pittsburgh's opportunity to kind of stop, the somewhat bleeding action that's happening with Pittsburgh's offense. It's a 3rd and 3 scenario. Get the stop, force them to punt the ball away.
It might be far enough. They might be able to try it. Here's the check down to Blitz, who's got open space. Day is there to make the stop, but not before he easily gets to the 1st down, and they're just outside the red zone.
Loads of real estate for Blitz on that check down throw. Almost felt like it was designed to go Blitz's way so that he could get, the necessary yardage for the 1st down. But now, once again, getting close to the red zone is this Riverhawk squad. They are clicking on all cylinders offensively.
Less than 6 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Price to throw. Has some time in the
pocket.
Oh! And it's taken away by Sabo Kanan. There's a penalty flag down. It'll be
after the pick
back to the 21-yard line. Yes, the interception will stand. I think this might be going back a few yards. It will. It's going to be a block in the back on the penalty.
Darko Young
against Darko Young.
Yeah, and we'll see. It was right after the pick as well, trying to get that block. That one may be a little bit more generous. I wouldn't he's trying to get to Kanan on the interception, maybe a little bit too far away, which garnered the flag call. But nonetheless, Chicago's still going to start inside their 20.
Yeah, that was Rachel Menner who was shoved from behind on that penalty. Nonetheless, the pick does stand, but it'll be 1st down Chicago from their own 11-yard line. As Buchanan Simons going in motion to the right side. And they'll go for the handoff, and Doyle goes nowhere on that play. That looks to be Menner helping with that tackle. No gain.
Yeah, and that was just Pittsburgh guessing right on where Doyle was going to run the football. Had no space after the handoff. Had to shove one down so that at least he'd get half a yard.
Nickel pack for Pittsburgh on 2nd and 9. They're adjusting the play here as Arlovsky goes in motion to the left. Oh, yeah, they're packing it up there on that left side. There'll be a pitch out to Doyle. Tried to stiff arm, was a little early there, but manages to get 3 on the play before being wrapped up by Adam Nold.
Yeah, they tried to use the Arlovsky motion as more so a red herring so that they could toss that ball to JW. But again, Doyle's speed isn't quite there, so he can break away on the toss, which led to the linebacker getting to that close down speed.
Empty set for 3rd and 7. Attack with time to throw. It's only 4 on the rush. Going for the deep ball and incomplete. Fullerton had his hands on it, but Geno McFly on the breakaway, and it's 4th down Chicago.
Yeah, just one hit jarred that ball loose from Fullerton. He's just got to secure that ball after the jump. You know, it's tougher to do than to actually say it. So I know Fullerton gave it a try, but, you know, getting hit by Geno McFly, it'll jar that ball loose.
Roush from his own goal line will punt this away. Fair catch will be called right at the 49 of Chicago. So generous field position for Pittsburgh on this next drive. They've got just about as much of an opportunity to score here as they did previously.
Yeah, exactly so. They just need to focus on, you know, moving that ball forward. But for Chicago, you've got to get back defensively. You've got to make sure you stop them by any means necessary.
1st and 10 from the split back set. Here comes the pass rush. Throw right side, complete to Lloyd right at the 38-yard line. An 11-yard gain in the first.
Yeah, and that was just open space. Once again, they found the pocket wide open. That was too much space given by Robinson to Devin Lloyd, who is having one heck of a first half, I would say, getting close to 75 yards on 5 receptions.
Yeah, so far 5 receptions for 5 targets. He's been very well for himself. The only other targets have been Weston, and that's been a bit of a struggle. There's Weston, by the way. Say his name, and he appears. Get down to the 26-yard line, and another first down.
Is this where I start clapping my hands and I say, I believe in Connor Weston? Is that how we're gonna do things? Like you said.
I think maybe about that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, it's been a 2-target show so far between Weston and Lloyd, but man, it's been working. 9 receptions between these guys, and they've moved the field.
Yeah, the only other reception has been Blitz on that 8-yard check down. Price will throw. There's another hit. That's Keith Wheeler, the tight end, who steps out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Looks like they'll probably call it just outside the 10. First down, Pittsburgh.
And this is one of the things that I wanted to see out of both these teams was to get the tight end involved. You've got Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith in stats. You want to throw it to the tight ends. So you look at these 2 tight ends. Wheeler only has 4 receptions to his name so far this season. There's number 5 for him. And for Chicago, gets Paulie Truth some love. He's only got 5 receptions to his name.
Yeah, 5 receptions for Paulie Truth and 56 yards. After this catch for Wheeler, that's going to put him at about 50 as well. So kind of even par for both of these tight ends, as the handoff for Churchill goes for about 4.
Yeah, and one of the things that Pittsburgh has to do in this scenario is basically, you have to think from a mental perspective. It's 2nd and goal up to this stage. Don't focus on the run too much. Try to see if you can get like a dump off pass to get like 5 or 6 yards so you can get closer to the end zone.
Yeah, the 1-yard line's the first down marker, but it's effectively goal to go here. Price will hand it off, and Blitz up the middle. Breaks through! Touchdown, Pittsburgh! 3rd touchdown of the game for the Riverhogs. First one on the ground.
I want to get a catch of this replay because BB Blitz does an incredible spin move on Doug Day trying to get to him. He says, no way, Jose. I'm getting myself to the end zone. Pittsburgh's offense in this first half has been spectacular.
Absolutely. 3rd touchdown of the game for the Riverhogs. That drive going 5 plays for 50 yards. Kick from Vinatieri up and through. Makes it 21-3 with 2:53 to go in the first half. If you're Chicago, you're starting to worry now, because this is kind of this is the shades of what we've been seeing the past couple of weeks. You know, we talked about the game against Arizona, the game against Charleston, where they had an insurmountable lead and it felt very difficult to get back into it.
Yeah, and it hasn't been any offensive touchdowns now for, I believe, the last 10 quarters for this Chicago squad, so they need to pick it up.
On the return, nice little hole, but quickly sealed off. Majors will get up to the 36-yard line. Decent return there from the kickoff spot. So yeah, just a couple yards inside the end zone. Bringing it, probably brought it out, probably about a good 38 yards or so. So Chicago from their own 36-yard line. About the average of what they've been doing so far tonight. They just need to get down the field and convert it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be type attack. He's 0 of his last 5 so far. He needs to find a connection.
See Doyle in motion. He's going to be in the tight end position on the left. 5 receivers for Patak, 5 rushers. Patak to throw. Oh, what a catch down to the 46-yard line. John Fullerton, catch number 1 tonight.
Yeah, and that's big for Fullerton, but not only that, it's big for Patak as well, because he tried to aim for Fullerton on that last 3rd down, if you remember, getting jarred loose by Geno McFly, which was on him again. He just lowers the arc on the football, gets it to Fullerton's eyes, makes it a little bit easier for him.
And a huge gain on that play. Goes down for an 18-yard gain for Fullerton. 1st and 10. Chicago now on Pittsburgh's side of the field for the first time in what feels like a while. Trips to the left side. They'll hand off for Doyle. Caught in a little bit of traffic, but he ends up getting 4 yards on the play. And that's where they're going to wind things up as we arrive at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in Pittsburgh. Chicago trying to get down the field, maybe make it a better 2-score game. They're trailing 21-3. This is the SFL on YouTube. Second down for Chicago with 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Patak will pitch out to Doyle, gets a bit of a screen, and manages to get a 4-yard gain on the play. And they're going to let this clock run with 3rd and 2 coming up.
Good play call from Chicago, getting lead blockers for Doyle to kind of, guide with, try to get those forward yards, because he can't do it by himself. He's got to get that extra help on the toss.
They'll hand it off this time to Fullerton on the fullback push, and he'll get to the 35-yard line and another 1st down.
Yeah, and I think this is really just Chicago looking to see what Pittsburgh's defense offers them. They are starting to, quicken the pace a little bit. They're not going full on hurry up, but they are pacing up those play calls.
They still have their 3 timeouts, but they do have about a minute and change to go. They'll hand off for Doyle, has room, and will be brought down by Kane Vasquez, and that'll be the first timeout from Chicago.
Yeah, they're seeing significant gains on their last 3 plays, so now is as good time as any. I would say they're, maybe comfortably inside field goal range for Christian Ronald-Suey, so at least they can get some points out of it, but they desperately need 6.
Twins to the right for 2nd down. Patak to throw. Going to the left side, deflected off the hands of Menor, and it's incomplete. 3rd down and 2 coming up.
Yeah, that was an outstretched Statue of Liberty reach from Corey Menor to stop that pass attempt from even happening. Stops the clock at 1:06, more favorable for Chicago, but nonetheless another incompletion by Ty Patak.
3 receivers for 3rd down. Nickel pack for Pittsburgh. Patak from under center. Only 3 on the rush. Will get it off. And it's intercepted by Geno McFly. Up to the 35 and pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Another enemy territory opportunity for Chicago goes squandering for naught.
Yeah, and I don't think McFly even moved his body when that ball was thrown. It was just really an ill-advised throw. He's looking for Pauly Truth, which I believe is his first target of this game. He does get a little bump action out of it, but was just in the right spot for a laser beam hitting his chest. And he's got the hands to get that pick. And now Pittsburgh, with a minute to go, they've got free decision if they want to break this lead open or if they just want to get to the locker room for halftime.
That is Geno McFly, interception number 1 of the season and his career. Price gets out to Lloyd deep to the left side to complete it, and that'll be another timeout.
They are looking to get some more points out of this. They're probably still roughly 25 yards away from being really in a comfortable field goal range, but they want to have themselves a full 3-score lead before the half.
A field goal would do it. They probably have to convert this 1st down to make it happen. Brown on the pass. Into coverage, incomplete. Derek Majors just wrapping over Ben Harrison.
And that defensive line got to Price as quickly as he could, so he had to sling that rock in a split second. Not sure if Harrison was ready for it.
And you see Michael Brown now under center again. 3 receivers set up for him. And you see Keith Wheeler there, tight end on the left side. Nickel pack for Chicago. Brown to throw. Going down the middle. Ooh. And completed. Connor Weston with another catch, and that's a second timeout called.
Yeah, nice open space for Connor Weston as well. Again, you look at your veteran leadership on the offensive side, and now Weston's starting to heat up in this second quarter.
Weston so far 5 catches for 78 yards on the day. Longest of the day so far for 19. Wheeler in motion to the right. You see Aaron Gooden there. He's setting up to counter him. The clock to 5. Brown to throw. Faces some pressure from Sean Parrott, who takes him down. It's a loss of 6, and that's the final timeout.
Yeah, and now you have to think from the perspective of Pittsburgh. Get yourself a catch that, goes out of bounds. I think they're out of field goal range up at this point past the 30-yard line. This would make it a 47-yarder if they wanted to stay here, maybe a 48-yarder.
It'd be close. It'd be 49, maybe almost a 50-burger from here. Brown to throw, right side, incomplete. Ooh. Weston was the intended receiver, but broken up there. Now 3rd down and 16.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's goal, I think, has to be at least 10 yards. No matter what the scenario, their ideal goal would be 1st down. But if they can get themselves 10 yards, they can at least try a field goal.
Yeah, that would get them to about the 22. More than makeable range there for Vinatieri. Brown to throw. Right side. Ooh. Oh, and it's broken up. Incompleted. And I think that was Day on the coverage there.
Yeah, and they're looking for Harrison again, who's been quiet all through this half, has now had 2 of the last 3 targets. And look at this. Pittsburgh may go for it here on 4th down.
I actually like this call because even if you get down the field and don't convert, Chicago still has to go the length of the field. Harrison in motion to the left.
It's leaving Weston alone on the right side.
Brown to throw. Right side. Completed, but it's not enough. Down to the 19-yard line as the tackle made by Ricky Robinson. It'll be Chicago ball.
Yeah, they wanted to go with a corner going for Weston. You'll see the cut. It's just a little bit too early of a throw made by Brown. He should have waited a little bit longer, not only to wait for his change of direction, but maybe some extra space from Ricky Robinson as well to get the 1st down.
So the turnover on downs will give Chicago the ball just outside their own 20. Attack with 3 receivers, 31 seconds to go. Here in the first half, Doyle on the run will get about 1. And I think that's where they're going to be content to let this thing run out.
Yeah, I'd be content with that as well because Chicago gave a good defensive stand to prevent Pittsburgh from scoring any points. Now you've got a little bit of momentum heading your way before you head to the half.
Remember, though, Pittsburgh gets the ball to start the second half. Chicago was the one who got the opening kickoff. Pitch here to the left side for Doyle. Blindsides a man, and that was Corey Menner, who got absolutely leveled there. It's a gain of 7, but that is how the first half is going to end. Pittsburgh on top of Chicago, 21-3, as we head into the halftime break. Pittsburgh has been, as we talked about, for most of this first half, running on all cylinders, having a great offensive game, having a great defensive game. Chicago just has not been able to get anything going so far, as we now take a look at the first half stats.
Yeah, it's been basically a second quarter to remember for Pittsburgh. 153 yards of second quarter offense from the Riverhogs, which led to 2 touchdowns to their name to break things open. But it all started by really preventing that pass game on Chicago's end to really keep going. Patak was looking okay, 57 yards in the first quarter, but just 17 in the second quarter, which is kind of, stymied things for Chicago's offense. They need to turn things around offensively if Chicago has a chance to get back in this game.
We'll see if they can make it happen here in the second half, but until then, let's take a quick halftime break, presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
An Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Breaks GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Breaks GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors at our Breaks GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, breaksgpt.com. This will be brought out from the end zone. Harrison on the return will push out to the 33-yard line from deep in his own end zone. About a 37, 40-yard return there.
Yeah, and we talked about how, Pittsburgh hasn't had, good field position to start their kickoffs. Well, Ben Harrison just comes in and says, I'm just going to push my way past the 30-yard line, get Pittsburgh a good starting field position in this second half, where they have been red hot with the passing game, as you'll see on the team stat board. 203 yards, 12 first downs. Those are the key markers you want to see.
So Price will come in under center to start the third quarter from their own 33-yard line. Weston, who's now nearing a century mark in yards receiving, in motion to the right. Price to throw. Will check it down. Complete to Churchill, who gets gets a first down and breaks into enemy territory, stepping out of bounds at Chicago's 45.
And this is what I've been surprised about so far with Pittsburgh's season, is that they haven't given the ball much on the pass to Mike Churchill. Just before this, he's only had 6 receptions to his name. Granted, it is 4th on the team in receptions, but you got to remember, Mike Churchill's a former wide receiver. You've got to take advantage of his hands.
Absolutely should, and they have done so there with a 21-yard reception, setting Pittsburgh up in Chicago's 46. Split back set, twins to the right. They'll hand it off to Blitz, who got caught up in a little bit of traffic. It'll be down for a gain of 3. We've got an update here at SFL headquarters. Let's go to Cam.
Thanks, Ethan. A wild one in Los Angeles tonight. Up 14-0. Jalen Wells gets his 3rd touchdown of the first quarter, but since then, all Carolina. It's now 21-10 Lycans in the 3rd. Back to you.
Thanks, Cam. Another run here for Churchill. We'll get about 2 on the play. Doug Day there on the stop will make it 3rd down and 5.
And again, another big 3rd down opportunity for Chicago's defense to really step up and kind of stop Pittsburgh from really, mowing them over offensively. See if you can get this stop, force them to punt the ball.
Flip back set. Lloyd will go in motion to the left. Nobody budging on the defense. That might be a sign of a zone. Price to throw. Has time in the pocket. Throws it down. Completes it to Lloyd. And gets just enough to get down to the 35 and a first down.
A nice designed zone defensive play from Chicago to prevent anything deep. Try to get that first down, so they forced to check it down to Devin Lloyd, who still pushes through to get the first down.
Eric Price now over 1,857 completions. That now makes him 24th all-time in completions, passing TD Drew, as the run there for BB Blitz will go for a gain of 6.
I was just going to say, are you talking about how many completions he's had tonight? Because that's what it feels like with how Eric Price has been really accurately slinging this rock. We look at his stats right now, 13 of 18. That's elite quarterback status right there.
It's been very well for him so far tonight. 2nd and 4, heavy set, handoff. Churchill brought down by Nate Hall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, and again, Chicago does well in these 2nd down opportunities, but they haven't been able to capitalize these 3rd down stops. Pittsburgh is 4 of 6 on 3rd down. It has been a show for them offensively.
So you're saying they have 66 and 2/3 chance of winning it here. Price to throw. Offhand.
Wow.
Complete. Down to Devin Lloyd at the 2-yard line. Eric Price off the shoulder gets it to 1st and goal.
Not only off the shoulder, but if we see the replay, it's off his back foot too. to Devin Lloyd. He's almost throwing a hope and a prayer into double coverage too, and the prayer was answered by Devin Lloyd. First and goal for Pittsburgh.
Devin Lloyd now over 120 yards receiving on the day, 8 receptions on 8 targets. He's been the go-to tonight. Blitz pushing, trying to get to the end zone, but denied by Citrion. They'll give him about 1.
And Chicago's done this a time before early on, that they've stopped them in goal line scenarios, and they need to bring them up again. You're inside the 1. You've got to push them back as much as you can.
Jumbo package for second and goal. Handoff for Churchill, who will bulldoze his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Riverhawks.
And that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, not only for this game, but for Mike Churchill himself. Second rushing touchdown this season. He started to pick things up, especially in his last couple of runs. He's starting to feel himself, and that's probably what he needs to carry on through the rest of the season. But for this game here, it is a wild lead now for the Riverhawks.
Now 27-3 pending the extra point, and it is up and through.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a meme number here as it's now 28-3 with 6:20 to go here in the third quarter. And I'm sure everyone in the chat's going, uh-oh. But with the way Pittsburgh's been running, their business, I think they're going to be okay. But we have to see if Chicago can get back on the horse.
If you've got any planks of wood nearby, I would recommend knocking on it right now, just in case.
This kick will be taken at the 15-yard line, and another run up the middle for Majors, who will set up Chicago with their own 38-yard line. Boy, Chicago really needs to get something going here, both in the air and on the ground. Doyle has only had 44 yards on 12 carries. Attack with a QBR of 11.9. He's 4 for 13, 74 yards and 2 picks. Chicago has got to be a brand new team in this drive, in this quarter, and in this half. They'll pitch to Doyle, left side. He cuts back into about the 40 and get about 3 on the play before being brought down by Adam Nold.
Yeah, it's got to be something that Chicago has to figure out to just break through this Pittsburgh defense. Maybe they need to try some play call that they haven't yet in this game. See if they can get, more importantly, not only John Fullerton, but guys like Finnemore and Simons open as well.
Handoff this time is going to Norman Gus. That's the first time we've seen him today. As Nold makes another tackle there. That'll be another couple more yards. 3rd and 6 coming up.
And now it's a 3rd and has to be a passing down for Chicago. The 2 runs didn't really quite work out. Just 4 yards on the 2 carries from Doyle and Gus. And there you see it, 5 receivers out, empty set.
5 receivers versus the nickel. Attack, gonna face 5 on the rush. Throws it up the middle. One-handed grab from John Fullerton to the 41 of Pittsburgh. First down, Chicago.
And they're going to need more catches from Fullerton and more open looks. You got to get the confidence of your top receivers. Fullerton is your number 1 guy. You've got to get to him more often.
A beautiful catch there. That is your Retroid Nice Hands catch of the game. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K 23. And they're going to need a lot more of that to move down the field. 5 on the rush. They'll hand off to Doyle. Tried to get a stiff arm there, but Monzuma and Krieg were there on the stop. It'll be a gain of 2.
Yeah, the linebackers have really answered the call in terms of Chicago's run game, especially the stretch runs. Doyle is trying his best to try to stretch around, but the linebackers just continue to get to him.
Pittsburgh again in the nickel set, as they're putting Arlovsky in motion to the left. Everyone resetting here. Looks to be a man defense. Attack to throw, facing a blitz. Get it away from the left side and completed to Buchanan Simons down to the 19-yard line. That's the first time we've seen him tonight.
Yeah, and you got to start implementing that share the wealth offense for Chicago. You looked at Arlovsky and Fullerton a lot in this game. Now we're starting to see some looks to guys like Buchanan Simons who, you know, they're good momentum swingers, those kind of receivers, especially Finnemore and Simons. You got to look at them more.
Inside the red zone for the first time in a while for Chicago. They're going to go for the quick handoff. It's about 5 on the play for Jackson, the fullback, getting himself a little bit of the piece. So now 2nd down and 5 from the 15.
I believe that's Dean Jackson's first carry of the season as well. And not a bad way to get your first carry, too.
2nd down, split tight ends from the I formation. Hand off. No, it's a fake. Patak with a flag down. It's intercepted. We'll see what the penalty is in a moment, but Monzuma on the run.
Oh, no way!
Makes a man miss. Has room to run down to the 30, 25, 20, to the 10, 5. It's a touchdown, depending on the penalty. Let's see what the call is. It's an ineligible man downfield. It's going to not count. Oh, they're going to decline it, and it'll be a touchdown.
Man, what a run from Dimitri Monzuma as well. Jukes Ty Patak out of his cleats to get extra space and beats J.W. Doyle on the sidelines to get a pick 6. Pittsburgh now running away with this one.
Now 35-3 after the extra point with 3:16 to go here in the 3rd quarter. That pick 6, I think that one went for about 90, maybe 95 yards. That kind of reminded me of the James Harrison run from the Super Bowl against the Cardinals, where he took it all the way back. This one taken at about the 18-yard line. Fullerton breaks through, gets to the 40 to the 43-yard line. Just couldn't get any more juice there to cross midfield.
And we talk about, milestones as well. Dimitri Monzuma, first pick of his career, 2nd defensive touchdown, but first pick 6 of his career as well. So congratulations on him getting more defensive points under his belt.
And that seems to have been the key for this Pittsburgh team. A lot of turnovers have turned into points. You saw the pick 6 here. There was that other interception that came into a touchdown earlier. As the handoff for Doyle. Oh, and he is wrapped up hard and brought to the turf by James Ferrier, 2nd down.
And just to add to your point there, Ethan, all 3 of those interceptions have been when Chicago has been marching down the field and have been in enemy territory as well. So Pittsburgh coming up to task when their backs have been against the wall in this game.
Yeah, the only other interception that Pittsburgh got ended up with the turnover on downs as Paulie Truth needs to turn around, and he will. He gets back to the 49-yard line, now 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, and you can just see the spreading of Chicago offensive players out there. They're still a little discombobulated after that pick 6 and the penalty that happened afterwards with the ineligible receiver. They need to just, shore things up, get ready for this 3rd and 5.
Empty set here for 3rd down. Doyle going in motion to the left. Setting up for 4 receivers. Patak, 5 on the rush. We'll check it down. Broken up, incomplete. Cody Griffin there to just snatch a victory out of Simons' hands.
Yeah, and it's just making things more frustrating for receivers that, don't get a lot of touches in the game, and they're getting stymied by, every defensive player on Pittsburgh imaginable. It's just been rough goings for the Chicago receivers.
Roush to punt this away. This will be taken. No, they're going to let this one roll into the end zone. Take a few seconds to get there, and it'll be a touchback. That'll bring the ball back to Pittsburgh's own 20.
Right now it's just been smooth sailing for Pittsburgh. They could probably run this last 12 minutes of the football game off, and they'd be content with the result.
Yeah, it's been pretty good for Eric Price from under center. So far, 13 of 18 for 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that 1 pick. And they'll go for the handoff up the middle. Cooper Allen, the fullback, gets a gain of 7 on the halfback dive. Bring up 2nd and 3.
Former Arizona Scorpion coming into task whenever she's needed. Comes in, gets a nice 7 yards. Good work from Cooper.
2nd and 3 now with the split tight end set. And they see the creep there from the defense as Belitz is going to try to run out for the first. It'll be marked short. Doug Day there on the stop for 3rd and 1.
Wouldn't be too surprised if they go for a 3rd straight run. Maybe give this to Churchill. Give a different look on who's handling the football on this 3rd and 1.
So you've got Cooper Allen at fullback, BB Blitz in the halfback spot, and they are in a jumbo package. They will try to run it. Handoff goes to Blitz, gets the first down, and will be wrapped up to the 32-yard line. 3 yards in the first.
And it's been back-breaking third down conversions that has really helped Pittsburgh. Now 6 of 8 on these third downs. It's been a blessing to Pittsburgh's offense.
Yeah, fantastic efficiency by Pittsburgh. Currently 5 for 8 on the game compared to Chicago's 2 for 9. It's been a tale of two teams, and Pittsburgh's been it's been their coming out party tonight. Churchill on the run. We'll get another 8 on the play as Day's on the tackle.
Just need to find a way. If I'm thinking from the perspective of Mike Churchill, find a way to use that speed of yours just to break through. That's a play that you love to see out of Churchill. Nice 8 yards.
Another heavy set for 2nd and 2. Handoff goes to Blitz, who will get the first down up to the 45, maybe the 46. And that's kind of been what they've been doing with Blitz, just running it up for about 3, maybe 4 yards, and that's enough to get the first. As we reach to the end of the third quarter, time to put some 4s up in the chat. We got 1 quarter of football to play. Pittsburgh on top of Chicago, 35-3. We're watching the SFL here on YouTube. Let's read us our rights.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Back here at the start of the fourth quarter, Ethan Muslin, Brett Solberg here on the call tonight. Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith doing the stats truck duty. And we always appreciate their help in making us know a little bit more as Sean Parent makes the tackle for no gain.
Yeah, and a good stop from Chicago. Churchill got a little bit stymied by his own offensive line, but really the goal for Pittsburgh is just run this clock out and, get safe happening so they can celebrate that first one of the season.
Yeah, 31-point lead so far as Blitz will try to break free, but gets right to about the midfield stripe for a gain of 6. Now 3rd down and 4.
And again, I wouldn't be too surprised. It's still a 3rd and short. They could really, run this up the gut with Cooper Allen if they want to. They could go back to Blitz, get the 4 yards necessary for the first down. They do have Churchill in the backfield, though.
Price on the fake will draw it out for Churchill, but gets met right at the line of scrimmage by Kanan, who stops any forward progress. 4th and 2 for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, now it's an opportunity for Chicago to get back the football, see if they can turn this offense around. It's been woeful goings at least the last 2 quarters. They need to find a way to really, not only get back in this game, but just get back offensively.
Rodney Williams to punt this away. They'll take it, into the end zone. Giant, kind of a roll into the corner. That was a little on the weaker side. That could have rolled down to the 1-yard line, but it will be a touchback to put Chicago on their own 20-yard line.
See if they can change something in terms of the Chicago game plan. Maybe see if they can, go with some short passes down the field. Maybe get some momentum started.
They are going to have to go to that aerial attack for sure. They want to get anywhere close to getting back in this ball game. Fullerton in motion over to the right side. Nobody budging on the defense. Patak will throw that way, and it's broken up, incomplete. Krieg on the coverage.
Yeah, going back to Arlovsky's side, he has a couple catches and now 3 of 7 in terms of receptions to targets. It's been good lockdown defense from the Pittsburgh secondary.
Now 2nd down and 10. Attack to throw. And, into double coverage there. Incomplete. Nice coverage on the play by Kane Vasquez. Now it's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, it looked like Kane Vasquez and Corey Menner kind of sandwiching the receiver in as well, which made it a little bit of a tougher catch to go with. Again, this Pittsburgh secondary has been up to task all game.
Yeah, they've done very well with a lot of deflections or a lot of breakups on those plays. Arlovsky in motion to the right side. They've set up in an empty backfield. 5 on the rush. Patak with time to throw. Gonna go for that deep ball, and it's caught by Paulie Truth at the 42-yard line of Pittsburgh. Way to flip the field. Chicago with the first down.
Yeah, that's something you need to do. If you're going to throw a high ball to someone, you look to a guy like Paulie Truth. All 6'6" of him, he's going to have the strength to withstand even a corner or a linebacker that's going to stay with him. He's an imposing figure out there, and now he gets a big catch for this Chicago team.
And they're starting to move down the field. Patak to throw. Oh, he's going to run it himself. Tried to get some blocks, but cannot. As Farrier's on the tackle. But Patak with the run gets a gain of 6.
The big hit from Farrier as well to kind of shut Patak down and say, hey, you shouldn't be scrambling so much here. You stay in the pocket. We want to get to you there.
They'll go to the heavy eye for second down. They'll hand it off. No, it's a fake to Doyle. He's going to throw it down the middle. Penalty marker down. I think Fullerton, the intended receiver there, we might have some interference.
Yeah, they're going to call it.
And that one called on Corey Menner, so now it'll be first down for Chicago at Pittsburgh's 15-yard line.
It's a lot of jostling between the two, but you can see just the impeding of the route intended for Paulie Truth. They're looking his way again. I like that play call, first off, from Chicago, looking for Paulie Truth. You need to, you want to shake up that offense, you look to Paulie Truth, and it benefits with the penalty.
There goes Finnemore in motion over to the left. This might be a couple of end zone stabs. I think they're going to do it right. They're going to go for the deep ball. Patak to throw. He will go to the end zone, and it is caught in the end zone. Touchdown Chicago by Buchanan Simons.
Pittsburgh could easily challenge this one, but it was a nice catch and secure of the football from Buchanan Simons after getting drilled right in front of his face. It's crazy. But they're going to let this call stand. It's 6 points on the board for Chicago. A very much needed 6 points on the board for a Chicago team that has really been quiet offensively.
The extra point from Christian Ronald Suey up and through 5 plays, 79 yards, and a minute and change to make it 35-10 with 7:38 to go here in the fourth quarter. How many likes do we have on this video so far? Don't answer. It's not enough. Smash that like button and subscribe to the SFL if you haven't already. Make sure to get notifications on because you don't want to miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Lloyd on the return. We'll bring that out to the 34-yard line. Now that touchdown pass to Buchanan Simons, that gives him 38 yards receiving on the day. That now makes him 27th all-time on the all-time list, now passing Nick T. Quick on the leaderboard.
Gives him touchdown number 67 in his career as well. He's slowly climbing up the leaderboard in that aspect, still behind Logan Keel, who's an active player. Wouldn't be too surprised if Keel gets one of his own pretty soon as too.
Yeah, it's always nice fun to see a little battle on the top of the boards for the active players, as a run there for Blitz will go for about 4. We were talking about that those touchdowns that Chicago has been lacking. As we talked about, the first time in about 12 quarters that they finally found the end zone.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they can look back and say, hey, we got this monkey off our backs. Let's turn things around. Let's get ready for our next game, which is a tough task. They got Canton week 5.
That will be a tough one, as Pittsburgh is going to get the bye in week 5. There's a little run for Blitz, goes for a couple of yards there to set up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and the goal for Chicago up at this point is to really shut things down for Pittsburgh in their sense and get the ball back.
Price to throw, going down to the right side. Open man is Connor Weston, who will get down to the 36-yard line of Chicago. First down, Pittsburgh, and they can run this clock out all the way to the end.
Yeah, and we've seen this a couple times in this game as well. Ricky Robinson has really been burned by just the change of direction that Weston is, giving him. We see it again on a change of direction, not going to the sideline, but down the middle of the field this time, and that's where the space is happening to get that catch.
First and 10 now. They'll call it the 36-yard line. About 6 minutes to go here in the ball game as Blitz will run it. up the middle for about 4 yards and brought down by Alex Bond. Got to give a little bit of a shout out to Bond as well. Now over 500 tackles for his career. That puts him at 504.
He's got 9 tackles to his name along with the assisted tackles. He's been all over the place. You want to talk about all over the place? How about Doug Day and 17 tackles?
He's been Mr. Go-To there in the backfield for sure. Blitz brought down quickly. Maybe gets about 2 or 3 on the play. And then bring up 3rd down and 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant 18 tackles from Doug Day as he gets to the running back. 3rd and 2 coming up for Pittsburgh.
3rd and 2 from the 28-yard line. They'll go split tight ends, but they will put a man in motion to the right. That's the tight end Keith Wheeler. Sending up into a strong side. It'll be a handoff. And, Churchill will not get there as Hall is there to make the stop. So it'll be 4th and 1. Pittsburgh likely to kick the field goal to make this a 28-point game.
Yeah, still a little bit too far from, skeleton legs Vinatieri out there, so they're going to have to punt this football away. And the big goal for Williams has to be pinning them deep.
He is going to go for the coffin kick, but that is going to go into the end zone on the fly. And catch made there from Adam Nold in the end zone. So there'll be a touchback for Pittsburgh, for Chicago on their own 20-yard line. Check out Yinsylvania.com for the largest collection of Western Pennsylvania-based gear. Whether you're representing Brady's brand, Squirrel Hill, or Mount Washington, wear your area with pride. T-shirts, mugs, and more can be found at Yinsylvania.com. Patak to check it down on 1st down, and it will be complete over to Dean Jackson. Chicago now going into a no-huddle offense.
Yeah, we're looking at 4.5 to go. Might as well go with the hurry up.
Attack to throw again, has time. Checks it down again, this one to Doyle, who maybe gets about a yard. As Monzuma's there on the stop, now 3rd and 6.
Yeah, they're really shutting down that deep game Pittsburgh is.
Attack going to go for the deep ball here, and it's broken up on the play. Great coverage there. That was number 44, Alonzo Jackson, getting his hand up.
Yeah, and quick 3 and out for Chicago. They were trying something different. It just didn't work out, and now it's 4th and basically for pride.
Yeah, they will go for it, though, try to keep themselves on the field. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. 5-man rush. Patak throws. Off the hands of Cain Vasquez, and it's a turnover on downs. Pittsburgh just kind of toying with their prey at this point.
Yeah, now it's the fourth forced turnover of the game if you include the turnover on downs. Been great work by this defense, really stymieing Ty Patak's pass game. He might finish this game with 11 of 26 passing, another not-so-good performance from him. He's going to hope that he gets one more drive out of it so that he can improve that number.
And there'll be a handoff to Blitz, who's going to get brought down by Day once again. There's number 19 for him on the day so far.
And we got to start looking at single game records in terms of total tackles in this game as Doug Day continues to get to where he needs to be as he inches closer to 20 total.
And you see Pittsburgh slowly milking that clock down, not even getting to the line until 15 seconds on the play clock. 2nd down and 8 from a split end set. Now down to 5. Down to 2, and they'll hand it off to Blitz. And Doug Day there gets number 20. Now 3rd down and 4 for Pittsburgh, but Doug Day now with 2 0 tackles.
Crazy work from Doug Day just to try to keep this Chicago team, staying respectable in this game. It's been a rough going on both sides of the ball for Chicago, but the shining light of this defense, Doug Day, continues to amaze.
3rd down and 4 now. And you see the play clock winding down. They are just letting this thing bleed dry. There'll be a handoff to Churchill, who gets not enough for the 1st down. Tackle there from Sabo Kanan. 4th down and 1. They may just let this, they will have to play it. but they may just go for the field goal here.
Close enough. I wouldn't be too surprised if they just let this clock go. That way they can get to the 2-minute warning.
Well, no, the play clock is about 4 seconds ahead, so they have to get this play off. So Vinatieri will try a 31-yard attempt from the left hash to make it a 28-point game. It's up, it's on its way, and it is good. So that'll make it 38-10 with 2:08 left here in the ball game. Got a score update here from Los Angeles. The Lycans now up on Carolina 24-10 with 1:30 to go in the fourth quarter. The Skyhawks have converted 3 fourth downs to keep their drive alive, but they are also having to deal with 6 turnovers on the night, so they've been having a lot of trouble holding on to the football too.
And you want to talk about struggling. Matt South, 14-34, as we still have the live stats, 5 interceptions to his name. It's not been easy goings for Matt South or the Skyhawks offense.
That's kind of one thing that people in the SFL have kind of been paying attention to, like the ratio of touchdowns to interceptions for the quarterbacks has been more towards the pick side than it has been on the score side. Now, I will grant you this, we're only a quarter of the way through the season. Mm-hmm. Things can change. Things can absolutely change on a dime in this league. But when you have quarterbacks, when you have a slew of quarterbacks who are having trouble getting in the end zone and turning it over like that right there, that pick off from Corey Menner will put it up to the 31-yard line. That's interception number 4 for Patak. But again, this kind of leads to that story that we've been talking about. More picks against fewer touchdowns. It's becoming more of a, I guess you want to call it more of a ground and pound league this season.
Yeah, very much so. More emphasis on the run game as we hit the 2-minute warning. Pittsburgh's going to run away with this one. Currently 38-10 with 2 minutes to go. Just 2 minutes away from their first win in SFL Major League history here, folks.
Two minutes to go here in Pittsburgh as the Riverhogs with a 28-point lead. They're going to hand it off to Blitz, who will get about a yard. That'll be the first timeout taken by Chicago. The last time that Chicago had this many points scored on them, I'm trying to look back here in the history. The last time they had 38 points scored against them was a victory against Arizona in season 21. They beat the Scorpions 44-38. That was back when they were in Seattle. But they have not lost with 38 points against them in their history. So this is a incredible development for Chicago, because there was a lot of hype built up around this team. A lot of folks that were from the Seattle era coming into Chicago. They had a lot of build up and momentum, as Dave's now going to get tackle number 21 as we get another timeout. But the troubles they're having, this is going to be their worst start since their expansion season in season 19 in Seattle.
Yeah, and I think people want to forget the expansion season of Seattle. You got to remember they only had 1 win on their name, but right now the next 3 games coming up ain't going to be easy for them. We talked about Canton. Now we look at week 6 at Lexington as Vinatieri missed it wide left. So Pittsburgh ain't going to get to the 40-point mark tonight. But we talk about at Lexington, and then they have a week 7 bye before they get to see Mexico City week 8.
Yeah, they're gonna have themselves a tough amount of sledding. I would say all the way up to week 11. They got, like I said, Canton next week. They're at Lexington after that. They get the bye. Then they're at home against Mexico City. Then we have that big bye week where we're just going to have a Monday night game in week 9. Patak going to throw this one incomplete. Then week 10, they're in Fort Worth to take on the Toros. Then they've got Motor City, with home in Indianapolis, at Albuquerque, at Minnesota. That might be a bit easier on the schedule, but from here until week 10, they gotta really get to work to get some wins in the win column.
Yeah, they have to look at that Lexington game as something that they can possibly improve on here, as That is just nearly incomplete. It looked like Arlovsky was going to catch that baby there.
I thought he did, but no, turns out, no, he just could not hold on to it, so that'll be incomplete. Now 3rd down and 10 to go for Patak. It is unfortunate because, as we talked about, a lot of the players from the Chicago franchise moving over from the Seattle team. Mm-hmm. Seattle last season had a great season and made it, making it to the playoffs as Doyle on the check down is incomplete. Excuse me, he is complete for a loss of 1. Adam Nold on the tackle. And now it'll be 4th and 11.
Yeah, and now flipping it to the other side on Pittsburgh's end, maybe this might be a catalyst of things to come because after their Week 5 bye, they've got at Atlanta and at Motor City. They could get themselves potentially to 3-3 if all things go right, as it's another turnover on downs. A missed target from Buchanan to Buchanan Simons gives the ball back to Pittsburgh. But like I said, by Week 8, they could see themselves at 3-3 before they go to and get a home game against DC.
Yeah, now this obviously is not their worst defeat in franchise history, but no. The largest margin of defeat they had was season 19 when they lost to Baltimore 45-7, and then of course the second most was last week when they got swept by Arizona 31-0. That was the second most. Mm-hmm. So 28-point defeat is gonna sting for sure. And you got to figure the Chicago staff are going to be going through those playbooks, and I suspect there's going to be a lot of confetti made in the Chicago offices as they try to figure something out to get themselves into the win column.
Yeah, it's all about trying to find that perfect balance as well. See if they can find that perfect playbook, and it's not going to be easy against Canton. But it all starts from there. See if they can, maybe get a little bit of a shock. Maybe make this game competitive against Canton. If not, win that game. And then kind of move forward from there. It's all about, one step at a time with the Chicago Warriors.
Yeah, and they were competitive against Florida and Charleston. They only lost by 10. So it is possible for them to be competitive and to do their best on it. They just need to be able to get that extra step and to get over the top to get themselves on the plus side for the win. And that is going to do it. Zeros on the clock here in Pittsburgh. The first win in Riverhogs franchise history comes at the expense of the Chicago Warriors. They are defeated by Pittsburgh 38-10. What a showing from Pittsburgh. I gotta give some props to Eric Price and Connor Weston and Devin Lloyd. All of them did fantastic jobs.
That was really good work, especially in the second and third quarters, not only by the offense by scoring 28 points, but not allowing Chicago to get any movement. Talked about that 47-yard second quarter. They did it again by only allowing 53 yards in the third quarter, and really just asserted dominance, made sure that, the game was fully theirs by the third quarter and made this, a rout at that point. And now Pittsburgh can get themselves in the locker room, get ready for their 2-game road trip, and get themselves a little bit momentum as they get closer to the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, and that's going to be an exciting turn of events for Pittsburgh as they're going to be going to Atlanta, to Motor City, week 6 and 7. Then they're going to be at home here in the Hog Pen to take on DC in the divisional matchup. Once again, final score 38-10. Pittsburgh, first win of the season, first win of their franchise history against Chicago. Chicago still struggling to get win number 1. They are now 0-4. That'll do it for us here from Pittsburgh, from our partner Brett Killian, for the Stats Trucks, Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith. For our producer, commissioner extraordinaire, I am Ethan Muslin. We'll see you all Monday night. Join Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green tomorrow at 7:15 p.m. Eastern as SFL This Week returns before Canton welcomes back DC for another chapter in a heated rivalry.
Bidoo!